Are you going to condemn them for cutting off food, water, and electricity to Gaza, another war crime called collective punishment? Did it ever cross your mind to condemn Israel when they assassinated Palestinian journalist Shireen Abu Akleh in broad daylight, or when they brutalized the people carrying her coffin peacefully, or when Israeli snipers killed innocent peaceful protesters throughout the March of Return? Did the people in office before you ever consider condemning Israel at any point? Since its inception, would it cram a country full of people into a 60-mile corner of their own country, creating the largest concentration camp in history, the largest open-air prison in the world? The answer is a resounding no. You never considered it, nor did your ancestors. But unfortunately for you, times have changed. The world is increasingly aware of the crimes of Israel and increasingly aware of the framework of politicians who enable their continued apartheid by resolutions such as these. And in a city like Chicago, with majority black and brown people who have experienced the apartheid-like conditions of oppression in the United States, a generation of young people have emerged who understand immediately that we have everything in common with the Palestinian people and nothing in common with the brutal Zionists under who they suffer. A generation of people who are not surprised when we find out that our politicians, up to our president, spread lies about 40 babies being beheaded in order to rationalize genocide. We're only surprised that they're forced to walk those lies back. But of course, the damage is done. People are still spewing the debunked lies about rape and massacre of babies, even here in this very meeting, when actually there is endless evidence of Israel having killed over 500 babies in the last 48 hours alone, having dropped more bombs in 24 hours than the U.S. dropped on Afghanistan in 1 year. And finally, let it be known that condemning the attack as the actions of some fringe group misses the point of what's going on. The attacks were carried out by a broad coalition of groups from every section of Palestinian society, not just Hamas. That coalition represents a people determined to attain freedom at any cost, and they have arrived at this point in the face of a broad coalition of right-wing Zionists and their supporters like those in the city council who would start a meeting with a prayer calling for their attempts at freedom, a second Holocaust, where are so silent you could hear a rat piss on cotton when innocent, peaceful Palestinians are annihilated day in and day out like the Native Americans of this country. If it were another time, these same people would be condemning Africans for rebelling against their slave masters during slavery, such as Nat Turner or in the Haitian Revolution. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
During your speech, you made a lot of references to Jewish people as well as certain people in your audience, not Jewish people in general, but certain people, especially in your audience, to Nazis. Now, that is extremely offensive when certain people are German, and they're also extremely offensive to people who actually suffered under Nazi rule.
I don't respect that anymore. I don't respect the crocodile tears. The crocodile tears. No. I don't like to play the foreign audience the Holocaust card. Now I feel compelled to. My late mother, please shut up. My late father was in Auschwitz concentration camp. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on both sides was exterminated. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. I refuse any longer to be intimidated. If you had any heart to you, you would be crying to the Palestinians, not for what you guys.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahshai, Ba'Shem Rukakodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Israel. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David reborn again in this generation. And shalom to the one-third of Yasharallah, who today were known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, it's going to be a quick one, but I simply wanted to point out how EDOM's magic is starting to wear off on the world. But before I get into that, let's read this. This is Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So, as we just watched in the first video, you're starting to see people calling out Esau for his tricks of playing the professional victim when he's trying to commit atrocities. Before, false flag was the name of the game in Esau's MO. But now with the invention of the internet, social media, prowessness, and simply just Esau continuing to do the same things over and over again, the people of the world are starting to see what Esau's tricks are. And this is all due to the Most High, whose Hebrew name is Yahweh, putting the spirits on the people to wake up, to rise up against these Edomites. And the first part of that is to make Esau's trickery and illusions fail. Because remember, the way that Esau ruled the world and the masses was through fear and intimidation and straight out trickery. Right? We could look back now on old secret reports that the government would bring out here in America, England, Israel, all over the world where Edomites reign. And we could easily call out how it was total BS. But you see, older generations that grew up programmed to respect and obey the government no matter what, they never thought of coming up against the powers that be. Well, the times have changed, and again, this is all due to the Lord waking the spirits of the people on the earth up. Some, namely the Israelites, he's waking them up back to our true heritage. And to others, he's simply waking the heathens up to rage against the current status quo, which is going to, in turn, destroy the current system and the Edomite supremacy. This is Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? And that's what we're starting to see now. We're starting to now see the world turning against Edom, and also starting to question his authority. And pretty soon it's going to get to the point where this prophecy is going to play out, when they're ultimately taken down, and people are going to really look at these Edomites and wonder, how is it that these people were able to rule the world and keep it in subjection for so long? How is it that they were able to do all the wickedness they did without being stopped? Well, again, the answer to that is that they were given the power and put into rulership by the Most High, who could put anybody into rulership, even the basest of men, as it says in the scripture. Let's get that now. This is Daniel's 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. So this right here is talking about these Edomites. Because again, when you look at the Edomite nation, they are the basest men. They're the only people on the planet of the earth who are born with degenerative genes, right? Recessive genes. But since they've been put into power by the Lord, they've turned everything around, and they've reset the standard for beauties. They've covered the faces of the judges. They've turned this whole world upside down. The prisoners have taken over the prison, okay? And they've rewrote the rules. But now the world is starting to wake up from this mass amnesia, and they're starting to now turn upon the current rulers of the world. Now again, the nations, they don't realize really what's going on. They just know that they've gotten a raw deal, and that these people in power right now, the Edomites, or as we know them today, the Caucasians, have been running the world in a haphazardly way, and the rest of the world has been getting the short end of the stick. And they're ready for things to change. Just look at China, look at the other Arab countries, right? Even Russia, which primarily is an Edomite country, even they're upset at the way that their big brothers have been running things. But you see, those two videos that I played in the beginning are showing that the tool of anti-Semitism and allowing Amalek being the top tribe of Edom, Amalek would be the people that we would refer to today as the so-called Jews that dwell over there in the land of Israel today, right? Those tricks that they would use upon the earth to get their ways, to guilt everybody, they're not working anymore, right? Notice, even though they're trying to push their World War II hoax upon the world still with their movies and news stories, or bringing out, oh, they found Anne Frank's diary or this and that. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody is buying their BS. And this right here is all the plan of the Lord, because again, he has broken the staff of the rulers, and in doing so, he's removed their ability to perform their magic and their rule over the world. This is Job 20 and 27. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. And that's what's happening. The world right now is starting to turn against these Edomites, and they don't understand it, right? But this is why you're seeing them starting to enact new laws to try to control the narrative, right? The anti-CRT bills, the laws to make carrying guns and the ability to open carry more readable, because they're worried that they're going to be attacked. So because they're trying to hold on to their kingdom. But see, it doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter if they try and do what they're going to try to do, which is to kill off the majority of the world. They're not going to succeed, because their time has been set and they're not going to be able to go past it. These devils are on their way out, and what we're seeing now with the world rising up against Israel and the NATO nations that are supporting it is just a hallmark of Esau's kingdom coming crashing down. So hopefully this video was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kokodash. Shalom.